Welcome to the podcast. I'm Carrie Fitz, owner and broker of Carrie Fitz Real Estate here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Today, I am super excited to welcome a very special guest, Kyle South. He is the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama. That's right. So how do you see the housing market impacting the workforce attraction? I know that you and Donnie, and retention, spend a lot of time on workforce development. We talk about it at every board meeting and need to. I mean, it needs to stay in the forefront. So how do you see that impacting?
There's a need for housing.
Yeah. At what price point?
Well, and that was what I was about to go to. So, we were talking about the diversification of many of our parts of our community. And I would say kind of across the spectrum, really. You see a lot of growth. But there is a need for more. And I think one thing that has to be brought into that conversation is K-12 education and how it supports that growth. And so we really need to pay attention to that. We need to tell those stories. We need to tell of the successes that we're having that can lead to future development, future growth. Piggybacking off of that, additional investment in infrastructure is opening up new parts of the community that we've never had the ability to develop. The McWright's Ferry Road extension is one of those through, those that were involved in establishing Tick-Rick back in the day. That was one of the priorities along with 69 South.
When I lived in Waverly back in the early 90s, they were talking about that bridge.
Yep.
So it has been, or that road has been talking about a long time.
Not only the road infrastructure, but also building sewer and broadband to those areas of the community that are no longer, they're necessities these days.
Right.
And so I think that will open up huge opportunities, but we need to do that across the community.
Great. Are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you're excited about that could impact the local economy?
Yeah, so, and I brought my notes with me. I hope that's okay.
Of course.
Again, many of those infrastructure investments are coming to fruition. It's taken some time. During my time in the legislature, we adopted HB 600 that established Tick-Rick and started making some of those investments here locally and partnering with the state to be able to leverage some of their dollars locally too. More so than initiatives, I will say that the economic development hopper is quite active, and there are some good things on the precipice. And, we've just got to continue to kind of get that out there and develop our community, both from a community development standpoint, but along with that economic development.
Yeah, that's great. What industries or sectors do you think will drive the most growth in our area over the next 5-10 years?
We kind of look at the state's economic development plan and their strategic plan when we start talking about that. Some of those areas that I see personally, we've already talked about AI and machine learning. The defense industry in the state of Alabama as a whole is something huge. We need to focus in all of those areas, but not forget about our manufacturing and industrial base that has been our bread and butter over the years.
Right.
And how do we do that? You look at all the growth, especially from federal government influence in Huntsville, and you really think about it, and the talent pipeline to supply the talent needs for all of that comes out of our community. And that, I think, more so than anything, being an HR talent pipeline, maybe across the state here, is our biggest opportunity.
Well, I've done Leadership Tuscaloosa, and I've done a leadership thing through AAR, and I've done Leadership Alabama, which I know you had just done.
Just finished.
And I really did enjoy Leadership Tuscaloosa, and I enjoyed the Realtor leadership. But I really enjoyed Leadership Alabama, I will say. And when I did Leadership Tuscaloosa, I kind of felt, I didn't grow up here, but I did feel like, because I'm involved enough in the community and what's going on, that I had a pretty good handle about what was happening and what was what. but I learned things.
Mhm.
There were things that I absolutely had no idea with Leadership Tuscaloosa, which I loved.
Yep.
So when I did Leadership Alabama 3 years ago or whenever it was, again, I have no concept of time, but when I did that, I was amazed what I didn't know
Yep.
about the state of Alabama. And I moved here from New England. I'd gone to college in Connecticut and moved and was working and moved down here. And New England and other parts of the country have an attitude about Alabama and Mississippi and these southern states that's absolutely not true. And I don't know why Alabama really doesn't make an effort to change that, except that maybe they don't really want them because there's so much going on and it's like a secret.
Right.
I mean, Mobile, I didn't know that Nile thing was down there.
Yeah.
I'm going this fall.
Yeah.
I am going to do that
Yeah.
because I was fascinated with that. I knew about Austell and Airbus and stuff because I drive to the beach and I go right through it and
Right.
down there every single time.
You see the growth.
Didn't really know what
Right.
it was. Kind of knew, but not really. And then Huntsville's a whole different animal
Right.
about what they've got going there. I mean, it was just amazing. Had never heard really of Frank Johnson
Yep.
until Montgomery.
That's right.
And how do people not know that when we have such a negative stint
Connotation.
on
That's right.
that in Alabama? Why is that not blown up
Yep.
to kind of,
Retell the story.
that's right.
Well, and that's what
So,
we're doing right here today,
That's
right?
right, but it's
I think
amazing.
It is, podcasts, those kinds of things give us a platform to tell those stories more broadly. But yeah, it is a secret to some extent. I will say that I saw just this week some new statistics on migration across the country, and Alabama's in the top 10 on the receivership
But is
side
that
of
because we have low tax base? I mean, what are the reasons
I
though, really?
think you
I
can-
think they have happy surprises when they get here.
Right.
People love it when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
get
yeah.
here. But
I do think that plays into it. I think there is a migration away from some of the super large suburban areas, urban areas.
politics has something to do with it.
Politics has something to do with that. But as a state, we have to be mindful of tax burdens and all of
Sure.
those things because a lot of the states that we compete with, especially within the southeastern United States, are no income tax or lower income tax. The state of Alabama has a super low tax base, and I'm proud of that. I think it's a recruiting tool, right? But we do have to be mindful of our competitors in surrounding states.
Yeah, but I don't know how I think you probably liked Leadership Alabama.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Love
loved
the
it.
opportunity.
Loved it. And so anyway, if anybody does have the opportunity to get involved with that, highly recommend.
So piggybacking off of the conversation about Leadership Alabama, Leadership Tuscaloosa, I thought I knew our community well. And there were aspects of that, to your point earlier, that opened my eyes to things and some positive and some very negative
Correct.
aspects of our community. And I think that's a program that everybody should take the time. I know it's a commitment, but go through it, learn more about our community, and it will open your eyes to other things.
Yeah, it was a great thing for me. I really appreciated having the opportunity to be involved in that. I really did, and I agree. I think everybody should get involved in that and know where you live.
I think it's one of the best programs
I
that
do
we
too.
run.
I do too.
Yep.
So how does the chamber work with city and county officials to attract new businesses and development to Tuscaloosa? And I'm going to, in the board meetings, we talk about that a lot too.
Yep,
So.
absolutely. So we have a great partnership with EDA and Justice Smith over there. I think we are doing that as a group more often now than maybe in times in the past, instead of everybody working within silos.
Right.
That is more of a team effort, and I think that should be our goal. Everybody has their little piece of that puzzle.
Sure.
And credit to Justice, he keeps us involved, whether it be from a workforce development part of those conversations or from just a general economic development standpoint. And we want to be that partner. We want to be that trusted advisor, that trusted partner throughout all of those conversations, whether it be leveraging with the State Department of Commerce and their partnership that we have here locally, or just trying to bring everybody that plays a role in that together, which we're doing next week.
Right.
We're having a Catalyst Day so that we can show off the assets that we have in our community to EDPA and the Department of Commerce, so that they know when they have a prospect that contacts the state, hey, Tuscaloosa is a good spot.
Yeah. And just popped into my head too when you were talking about communicating with these different groups, so you have a go-to person for questions and answers and help and whatever. I found out during Leadership Alabama about the fact that I think there are 5 mayors around the state that meet on a regular basis to talk about issues in their area and brainstorm how to fix and work together. I thought that was wonderful that they do that.
So they've expanded that now to the Big Ten.
Oh, good. Very good.
Obviously it provides more influence, but on that same note, we do that as the chamber too. So Chamber of West Alabama, the Birmingham Business Alliance, Huntsville, Montgomery, and Mobile chambers all get together quarterly to just share ideas.
That's great.
Kind of looking futuristically, but also learning
what people are doing right and the people not so right.
And the hard lessons that have had
That's
to be
right.
learned too.
That's right. That's great. So what makes West Alabama a great place to live and work in your opinion?
You know, I've been in West Alabama kind of broadly for all of my life. So it has been one of those places that I'm proud to call home. I have seen growth in ways that I never dreamed imaginable. And I've gotten a little bit of all of it. So was from Fayette originally. My grandparents were down in Utah.
I knew your grandmother.
Yeah. And lived here a lot of that time as well. And so it's always been home, but I see it in a different way now. And now that we've kind of got this national influence with student population growing, you know, you look at it when I was a freshman or coming in for orientation here at the university, which hadn't been too awful long ago, I would like to think. But student population was around 18,000. We've over doubled that in a short window of time. And we have become a leader on the national stage, not just regional. A lot of
out-of-state students.
Love it. And they're bringing their dollars to invest in our community. And so we have to open their eyes to the community at large, which is one of the initiatives that we're kind of fostering at the Chamber in partnership with EDA and Visit Tuscaloosa. But we got some funding from Innovate Alabama to start a student leadership program.
Oh, great.
And so we're calling Anchor Tuscaloosa. And the whole idea is to get the student population engaged in things that are going on and open their eyes to things that are going on throughout the community so that they may have a better understanding and a more willingness to stay beyond their 4 years.
Yeah, my son did Fuel last year. And just some feedback. He loved it. But what he really liked was, I don't know if it was the last thing, but it was toward the end where you had a panel of people who were presenting ideas, young entrepreneurs that were, he loved that.
Well, and the whole Anchor idea came from the Fuel effort. Okay. And so what we wanted to do is more broadly apply that to the student population during the school year, have a longer period of time where its Fuel is just, you know, a summertime internship type program. This is more of a year-long, lot like Leadership Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, and he goes to school out of state, so it was good that he could do that during the summer, but he really did.
Well, I think it gives them a great opportunity to network with other kids that are in the same, you know, place in their life.
It's a great resume builder. It's a great networking way, and just to learn how to network and be around other people. And I really do think, and I'm, you know, showing my age, I'm sure, with this statement, but one of our daughters said something about her boyfriend not being communicative, and I'm like, you think he's not communicative? Wait for 20 years, the kids that are coming up. You know, I mean, they don't speak to each other. It's, you know, it's just, I can't
may make that worse.
Yes. I can't imagine, but you know, because I didn't grow up with it, and they really didn't either. You know, phones, flip phones, and stuff started. Blackberries and stuff started coming out when they were in junior high school and high school, so they didn't grow up with it.
Right.
Like these, I see children in restaurants that are 3 on a phone.
Yep.
You know, it's just to keep them busy, I guess. But anyway, so thanks to everyone for tuning in, and until next time, carry on.